we learned about Little Turtle because at that time education was very much local. The people that write the textbooks of history now largely look at the Texas market, and they don't give a rat's banana about Little Turtle. He's way down among the people. They don't teach about Frederick Douglass when they teach about Lincoln. They do not teach about John Brown when they teach about Lincoln. They do not tell the whole story in our monuments. You know, and I was at the MLK opening in August of 2 years ago. The statue was impressive. The park is impressive. But what was much more impressive to me were the faces of the people around that monument the day of the opening who had a sense of being, a sense of empowerment, a sense of participation that I'm not sure I've seen, you know, anywhere except maybe like sports events. But, you know, you had a sea of faces, often with their little iPods, you know, honoring this man in their own faces. That to me was more impressive than the statue itself, was how the people responded to the gift of that man. Little Turtle and Tecumseh's images are upstairs, the bronzes that used to be on the Anthony Wayne statue. They're upstairs here in the library. They used to be on that statue of Wayne as diminutive parts of that exhibit. I would love to see a city take those two bronze images, market them as a memorial, to build a memorial to our Native American heritage. I'm not sure of like the victor and the vanquished on one side of the street, but I mean, to honor the Native American heritage to me would be absolutely essential to our history here. And I cannot believe that those two images of the Native American leaders in this city were relegated to scrap and saved by an artist who recognized them. And finally I've ended up in a little tiny alcove, you know, on the second floor of this library. Mm-hmm. And how many people know that? And know the story of the monument itself? And the idea of Redskins in Northside, to me, that argument's over. Mm-hmm. And it ought to be eliminated. Mm-hmm. The term Redskin came from the blood in the scalps of Native Americans who were bought as bounty. That's the word Redskin. And to have a team named after that particular abomination is just beyond me. Come on, you can find a better name than it. You know, a name, you know,
all right.
100 years ago, you know, we used an N-word to describe nearly all African Americans in this city. When I was little, we went to the Jefferson Theater, and we were able to go downstairs and sit on the first floor. And my aunt explained that the pickaninnies had to go upstairs and sit in the back balcony. I remember that. The word pickaninny was her word for black people. It was negative. And in those contexts, you know, as a little elementary school student, you know, I sort of learned what was meant by black skin. It wasn't until Boy Scouts that I learned these were great guys to play football with. They were just great.
We got about 8 minutes left. John, let me ask you here real quick. You know, it takes a lot of braveness to be able to speak your mind the way that you, and say things that you want to say the way that you want to say them. A lot of people in Fort Wayne don't want to do that. You know, what gives you the confidence to speak your mind, and you know, with no fear attached to it?
There is no God but Allah. That's plain and simple. We fear no man or no one outside of God and His Christ.
And to your fellow tribesmen out here who don't feel that way, who will talk a lot of smack behind closed doors, but you turn the camera on or open the shades and they get quiet, what do you want to say to them?
Belief in Allah.
Okay.
That's yes, sir. There's no God but Allah.
And I'm sorry.
And Muhammad is his messenger. So the fear of man, the Holy Quran says, you fear man as you should fear Allah. And we should never put our trust and faith in man. We should always put our trust and faith in God and fear God alone. And you can speak your mind when you fear God alone. You're not worried about any other enemy.
Okay. And Kevin, you know, again, if you had a chance to speak to a whole bunch of brothers who were reluctant to express themselves like so many are, what would you want to tell them by using your own self as an example of expressing how you feel about social, psychological, political issues, whatever the issues are?
Believe it or not, I talk to a lot of brothers every day. John hit it right on the head. I mean, when you fear nothing, man is not created to fear anything but God. And sometimes someone can put pressure on you. We talked about those in power. If they feel that they can move you, either with dollars, oh man, that's a lot of money. Okay, what do you want me to do? Or fear with jail time,
Loss of your life.
Loss of your life, loss of your family's life. When you really, truly believe something, you're willing to give the greatest investment that you have in that thing, which is your life. This is how I walk every day. I believe in a truth that ultimately can free a people. When I'm talking about freeing a people, I'm talking about freeing them mentally. And it's not with where our people are concerned, and all people in general, but specifically where our people are concerned, our fear is what we think the next person is going to think. How am I going to be perceived if I come out like this? How am I going to be looked at and treated if people know that these are my thoughts? So the knowledge of self is the most empowering thing that a person can have. And when I say the knowledge of self, I mean your existence from a divine perspective. He did not give me life. He did not give me life. God gave me life. I'm breathing His breath right now. So what else do I have to fear but the Lord that I have to stand in front of as my judgment approaches? So empowering people to have no fear but God. That is a liberation and a freedom that's unexplainable until you actually experience it. So every day in my walk is to encourage people to turn toward the Creator, who is the author of life, and do what your purpose is. the Bible teaches that blessed is he who finds his purpose in life. So when you find your purpose in life and what you're supposed to do, that's your gift while you're here on this earth. And to walk that purpose out is to walk that in divine purpose. So, you know, what's worthy of our fear? What is fear? Fear is something that's not even real. So, you know, our Minister Farrakhan, is known for being the most bold person that you've ever heard. You may not like what he says, you may not agree with what he says, but it's said with such a conviction that you have to respect it. So I would encourage people to believe in themselves, believe in the gift of life, and to try to find your purpose and to live out that purpose.
Okay. And Tom, let me ask you the same thing. You know, because you spoke so very freely, and this is our first time ever doing a show together. You know, what made you this way? I mean, and in terms of a message to someone else who doesn't have the same apprehensiveness as you.
I was raised Roman Catholic. When I said, I wonder about this Santa Claus thing, I don't wonder what else is going on, I started to question religion in general. And probably for 20 years, I basically investigated religions of all types. And fundamentally, I went to Vietnam when I was in 20, turned 21 in Vietnam. I came back out of Vietnam an agnostic. I'm probably still an agnostic today. I believe in rational thought. I believe in critical thinking. I believe in science. I believe that you should never let anyone or any event define who or what you are. And that is what has kept me strong throughout my life. So I respect people that have strong beliefs in religion. I believe that if those things are what you need in life, then go for it. For me, I found something else. And I think that you can be strong without having a strong base in religion. I respect very much what you gentlemen have said, but I think you can be strong without having a strong basis in religion. But I think you need to have that power of self-confidence, of saying, yes, I understand we disagree, but just because we disagree doesn't make me a lesser person because of that.
Well, gentlemen, I've enjoyed myself for these past 2 hours, and I really appreciate your coming out and talking with me. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.